This is a bed. It costs $0. It is a park bench. It is cold. It is loud. This is also a bed. It costs $100,000. For one night, it sits in a private villa, suspended over the ocean. It comes with a personal butler who knows your favorite coffee temperature before you even wake up. Most people think hotels are just places to sleep. They are wrong. Hotels are mirrors of class. They are social experiments. In real time, from the budget motel with a flickering neon sign to the private island where money ceases to exist. How you are treated depends entirely on your net worth. You are 19. You are sleeping in your car in a Walmart parking lot. Not homeless. Just broke. Just between one bad decision and the next paycheck, the seat doesn't recline all the way. Your neck hurts by 3 a.m. A security guard taps on the window at dawn. Not cruel. Just tired. Can't stay here, man. You nod. You drive off before the sun is fully up. You don't know it yet, but you'll remember this parking lot for the rest of your life. Not because it was the worst night. Because it was the starting line. You get a job at a call center. $11.50 an hour. You share a one-bedroom with 2 roommates you found on Facebook Marketplace. You've never stayed in a hotel that wasn't attached to a gas station. Your first real trip, 22 years old, is a days in off the interstate. $58 a night. The keycard fails twice before it works. The mattress dips in the middle like it's been apologizing to guests for a decade. Is this what a vacation feels like? You genuinely don't know. You notice something though. The front desk clerk barely looks up. Not rude, just invisible. You are one of 400 people who'll sleep in this building tonight, and none of you will be remembered by name. That's the first lesson, and it costs you nothing to learn it. At the bottom, you are volume. Not a guest. A room number. You start traveling more. Not luxury, just curiosity. You take a job as a rideshare driver on weekends, picking up guests from a mid-range Marriott downtown. You start watching. Really watching. You notice the man in the wrinkled suit who tips the valet $5 and gets nothing extra. You notice the woman in the tracksuit who tips $20 and gets upgraded before she even finishes checking in. It isn't about how you look. It's about what you're worth to them tonight. You save $1,200. You book a real trip, a 4-star hotel downtown. $189 a night, the cheapest room on the floor. You wear the only blazer you own, bought second-hand for $14. The clerk glances at your reservation, pauses. We've got you upgraded to a corner king, sir. You don't ask why. You just say thank you and walk to the elevator like your heart isn't racing. Later, you learn the term yield management. Hotels don't fill every room the same way. An empty room tonight is a loss they can never get back. A guest who might come back, comped into a slightly better room, is worth more than an empty one sitting there earning nothing. You didn't get upgraded because you're special. You got upgraded because you were useful. That distinction will follow you for the next 15 years. Your cousin Danny calls that week. Danny's 2 months behind on rent. Hey man, can you spot me 200? Just till Friday. You send it. No lecture. No follow-up question. You don't tell him about the corner king. You don't tell him what you're starting to notice about how the world quietly sorts people. He doesn't ask what you've been doing lately. He never really does. You're 26 now. $34,000 a year. You take a work trip to a real 5-star property. A client is paying, not you. $410 a night. You've never seen a lobby with a live piano player before. The doorman opens the door before you touch the handle. Not because he sees you. Because he sees the badge on your lanyard that says which floor you're headed to. You learn a new term that week. Status matching. Certain hotels will grant you tier recognition from a completely different hotel chain. Not because you earned anything there, but because the algorithm is betting you'll come back and spend more if you feel special early. Status isn't loyalty. It's a bet placed on your future spending, and you haven't spent a dime yet. You start applying this everywhere. Not to scam anyone, just to understand the machine. You start asking one specific question before every stay. Is the top floor full this weekend? The answer tells you exactly how confident the hotel is that it doesn't need you. Danny calls again. Different tone this time. You still doing that hotel stuff? Heard you stayed somewhere fancy. You say, it was fine. You don't say the number. I need 400. Car trouble, you send it. Same as always. No conditions, but this time you ask him something back. You ever think about what you're actually paying in interest on that thing? He laughs it off. Nah man, I just need it running. You don't push. You just notice he asks for the fish. He never asks how you're catching it. You're 31 now. $210,000 saved. Built slow, built boring. From a small property management side business, you started renting out 2 duplexes nobody else wanted to touch. You take your first real luxury trip, an overwater villa. $2,600 a night, booked under your own name for the first time in years. The butler introduces himself before you've even set your bag down. He already knows you take your coffee at 71 degrees. Somebody wrote that down. Somebody remembered. This isn't hospitality anymore. It's prediction wearing a smile. You notice the shift immediately. Nobody rushes here. Nobody says, just a moment. Everything happens exactly when you need it to. Like the building itself is anticipating your pulse. A woman at the pool bar asks what you do. It would be easy to tell her. One sentence. The number. The properties. The whole quiet machine you built. I manage some real estate. You say, instead, true, vague, safe, dot. She loses interest fast, moves toward someone with a louder watch. You order a $16 sparkling water and watch the horizon alone, and something in you almost misses being seen for it. Your net worth crosses 1 million for the first time. You still haven't said the number out loud to anyone, not even alone in your own car. You check into a private island. No front desk, no lobby. Just a dock, and a woman with a tablet who already knows your name before you say it. The general manager joins you for coffee your second morning. Not scripted. He's noticed the pattern in your bookings. The quiet, careful way you move through places like this without ever asking for a photo. You're not here for the view, he says. Not a question. You almost tell him everything. He'd understand it. The duplexes. The 2 more properties you picked up at auction last year. The slow, unglamorous math behind every number. He's spent his whole career reading people who hide what they have. Just needed quiet, you say instead. He nods like he already knew that wasn't the full truth. He doesn't push. That's the job, knowing exactly when curiosity should end and service should begin. Danny calls that same afternoon. Different tone completely. I want in, he says. Not alone. Show me what you're actually doing. This is different. He's not asking for the fish anymore. He's asking for the rod. You almost say yes right there. You almost explain the whole system over the phone. The auctions, the cap rate math. The years of quiet compounding that turned to duplexes into 11 units. Teaching him means giving up the one place left where you're not performing for anybody. Let's talk when I'm home, you say. I'll show you something. Not money. A way to see money. He goes quiet. That's not what I asked for. I know, you say. It's what actually works. You hang up. You sit on the dock until the sky goes completely dark. You're 41 now. An ordinary Tuesday. Nothing about the morning suggests anything is about to change. You're standing in line at a dais, in the same chain from your very first trip. A different location entirely. Not because you have to stay here. Because some part of you still needs to remember what $58 a night feels like. Your phone buzzes. An email from your accountant. Subject line, your end. Numbers, call me. You open it, standing beside the same kind of ice machine. Still rattling, still half broken. Exactly like it was 2 decades ago. Net worth, $9,400,000. You read it once. You put the phone back in your pocket. You don't call anyone. You don't take a photo. You don't say the number out loud, not even to the empty hallway. You just notice the ice machine is still broken. And somehow, that's the detail that actually lands. Danny texts that night. He's 3 months into his first small rental, the one you helped him structure. Small, boring, entirely his. He doesn't ask for money anymore. He asks about cap rate. You smile at that one, alone, and you don't explain why. The next morning, you're back where this whole thing started, not literally, but close enough. A parking lot. A tired car. A cold seat that doesn't recline all the way. Except this time, you're not sleeping in it. You're just standing beside it, keys in hand. Remembering the 19-year-old who once thought this was rock bottom. You think about the bed that costs nothing. The bench. The cold. The noise. You think about the bed that costs $100,000 a night. Floating over water that doesn't care who's sleeping above it. They were never really about that mattress. They were about who the world decides you might become, long before you ever show it the number.